need this world. From millions of light years away, I approach your planet. Soon my spaceship lands on Earth. I need your world. I feed on fear, live on human hatred. I, a strong mind without flesh or blood, want your world. First, the unthinking, the birds of the air, the animals of the forest. Then the weaker of men shall all do my bidding. They shall be my ears, my eyes, until your world is mine. And because I see your most secret acts, you will know me as the beast with a million eyes.
This is the emergency podcast system. This is not a test. Movies are bombing all over the country. They are posing as movies you already know. They may already be in your theaters, your neighbor's home, or even your own. Do not panic. Specialists have been dispatched. They will help you identify these pretenders and defend you against this invasion of the remake. Please stand by for further instructions.
A date ranch in the off-season is the loneliest place in the world. When you've lived through 10 years of off-seasons, it does things to you. Not very nice things, I'm afraid. This is my ranch. Not much of a place anymore. We've been losing money for 3 years now. I guess that makes me a failure. At least my wife seems to think so. But it isn't just the fact that the ranch is going bust. It isn't just being alone out here day after day, year after year. It has something to do with the feeling you get when you start thinking what's out there, just beyond the groves surrounding us. A vast and cruel world, still, dry, deadly, slowly withering beneath the white heat of that desert sun. A perfect place to hatch a brood of horror or of hate. Perhaps it began out there. The hate. Something that goes far deeper than angry words. A growing, twisting thing that's slowly destroying us.
Welcome to the Invasion of the Remake podcast. I am your host, Jason Bishop, and coming in live from Planet Vulcan is Trish Coughlin.
Hello, everybody.
Sam's away again this week. It's his anniversary.
Yes, very reasonable excuse.
Yeah, his work schedule, his anniversaries, man, he's getting out all the work.
I know.
But all the fun work. We're going to talk about The Beast with a Million Eyes. So when we're recording this is shortly after when Roger Corman had passed away, and we thought, hey, let's do something Roger Corman. There are a couple in his filmography. Oh my Lord. He produced well over 400 films. He directed 20 some odd 30 some odd movies. Well, it was maybe 40. Yep. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me.
We've done a few of them.
We have done quite a few of them. Quite a few of them. But The Beast with a Million Eyes is a first for us from 1955. This was part of a deal, 3-4 picture deal with American International, which would later become AIP, which Roger Corman would run years later. But at the time, this was Sam Arkoff who was running the studio, and they're based on a pitch, the original screenplay being The Unseen that they picked up and wind up being retitled. Now, the other two pictures before this, as part of Corman's deal with American International, was The Fast and the Furious from 1955 and Fire Guns West, also from 1955. The deals for producing these movies were about $100,000 each. Fire Guns West ran over over budget, overspending, a lot of cost overruns. So it only left $29,000-$30,000 to make this movie.
Yeah, that's a huge overrun.
Yeah, boy, does that show, because the alien is a tea kettle with a bunch of holes in it.
Yeah, a large metal trash can.
Yeah. They had some
utensils attached.
They did have an alien at the end that was kind of superimposed, and there was like an eyeball imposed over like some spider thing.
Yeah.
Inside the tin can.
Yeah.
And the guy who did the special effects would later go on to win an Oscar for special effects, so he got better.
Well, I mean, when you're dealing with a budget, such a tiny budget, I mean, he did what was necessary. I mean, and you don't need to see the alien. Like, ultimately, this construct of the script, you don't really need it. But I guess somebody had asked that they have to have something in there.
Yeah, that was kind of the promise. They had that wonderful painted poster. You'll see it in our thumbnails, but you can go look it up yourselves. And that was kind of the promise of an alien. And Sam Markoff, like, the script was called The Unseen, and Corman liked that because they could produce it and not have an alien because it was invisible. So it would be cheap to do. But
exactly.
Markoff wanted an alien. So I had to kind of come up with something. They did a small set location. It was a non-union shoot. So the union was kind of threatening them at one point. So Corman fired everybody and replaced the cinematographer and took over directing, but didn't take credit. So consequently, you'll hear me list 3 directors, 2 uncredited, and sounds like Roger Corman did most of the work.
Yeah.
There was one guy who was there for one day. They shot, it was like 45 pages of interiors, probably probably in the cabin or in their homestead, right?
In the house.
In the house. And they shot that in 2 days.
Whoa.
45 pages of dialogue, which would probably be why it was so stiff.
Yeah.
One take, good enough.
Yeah. Did they get all the words right? Most of the words. Okay, keep going.
Did they come out of the mouth? Yes. They sound like words? Sure.
Yeah.
Is it
Did
coherent?
sound get them? Okay.
Yeah. Are they coherent? Sure. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah. Yep.
The basic gist of this is something crash lands and it starts making what they call the lower species, like the animals, acting weird. And this actually predates like the birds. So they got birds attacking people and a bull that they thought was female. No wonder it was pissed off because they were trying to milk it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can get something. Okay. Because bull sperm is kind of valuable. You can get something out of a bull, but it's not milk.
Like, no wonder it was kept kicking the bucket.
Yeah, but you can make a lot of money from it. So really, he should have thought ahead.
I mean, if they had included a joke, I'm like, why has it only got one udder?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. He's like going, I keep pulling and pulling. It takes forever, but when it comes out.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's all sorts of stuff like this. This is definitely one of those cheesy B movies you get to point your finger and laugh at because it's not well put together. It's not well acted. The effects are subpar. The sound, the camera positions, like everything's just, this movie's a mess. But I was attracted to it because I liked the title. And I had an idea basically because of the title. And I'm sticking to my idea as we do this. But the initial concept of this movie is the tin can, the tea kettle, crash lands, affects the animals, and essentially it's trying to control the population. And this is its way of invading, which I think is actually a fairly clever idea. And in the middle, you've got the family of the Kellys, the mom, the dad, and the kid. And then there's a ranch hand that is mute. Does make me wonder about the acting chops of the person who was mute.
Well,
you're so bad, we're not going to let you talk. They were doing that of mice of men type of guy, you know, like really big in stature, so it comes off a little creepy. And they were trying to suggest that he was also of lesser mind. because he was the first human to be taken control of, although it was trying for the daughter.
It really was. He
Yeah.
was going for her hard.
Yeah. And I was wondering if there was some sort of because the ranch hand had the pictures on the wall and thought he had a crush on the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was clearly
because
way
he was
older.
watching her going to swim.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was other stuff happening, which I kind of, you know what? I sort of want to take some of that out of it. Take out the creepy factor, because I don't know. I'll tell you my idea later. But yeah, I don't think you need to have that. You can just have him be sort of unsettling because he can't talk.
Well, I aged the daughter down a little bit. I did cast a ranch hand, but I wasn't super enthusiastic about it. And I kept it somebody creepy looking just in case we wanted to do something with that. But it is a bit gross. Mm-hmm. There's other things we can do with that because this is primarily a family drama with not much going on outside of it, which is thankfully it's short. It doesn't feel like a long movie, but it does feel like, okay, mom's a bit excessive in blaming people for things. Daughter's just being a daughter. and the dad's off a lot. Because he's running the ranch. He's going to get things and bringing people back and visiting other ranches and doing trades and, that sort of thing. So he's not around very much either. And
mom feels trapped.
Yeah, she feels trapped.
Checked out.
And she's very jumpy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, she's isolated and it's sort of, I don't know. I think she's very unhappy with her lot in life. And it seems she's just taking out on other people, which is kind of a thing. Oh,
well, maybe we can do something with that. Maybe she's a big city girl that got reluctantly pulled into farm life when she married. So she's
that might be it.
Not happy. That we can play something with that too. But okay, so I'm already almost ready to go for my pitch. But
well, it's such a lean film.
Yeah,
and honestly, we've basically said everything that occurs.
Pretty much. There is this sound emitting from the tea kettle, and that's what kind of affects things. The million eyes in the title refers to the creature, the entity, being able to take possession of other creatures and see through their eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, I do have another usage of that as well.
Ooh. Okay.
But first, let's run the trailer.
Years away, I approach your planet. The birds of the air, the animals of the forest, they shall be my ears and my eyes. And because I see your most secret acts, you will know me as the beast with a million eyes.
From worlds beyond comes a weird and wanton intelligence, a beast with a million eyes, making of a woman's dog her attacker, setting afire flames of wild desire, making of a man's friend a violator of every code of decency, guilty of acts you'll never believe. See a man fight against supernatural forces for the girl he loves. See a beast with a million eyes control a ship from outer space, one of the most fantastic terror thrills the screen has ever brought you. See the beast with a million eyes.
All right. Well, I do have ideas, but first, let's get to the credits. The Beast with a Million Eyes from 1955, written by Tom Filer, who wrote The Space Children. This is directed by, credit-wise, David Kramorsky. It's his only directing credit. I can see why, because he was probably only on there for a day or two. Roger Corman goes uncredited. We've done tons of stuff, but a couple of movies that he did direct that we've covered was episode 55, Little Shop of Horrors, and episode 294, X, The Man with the X-Ray Eyes.
Yes.
Lou Place was also uncredited as a director. He directed something called Daddy-O, but yeah, he was also gone in a day or two.
Okay.
This stars Paul Birch as Alan Kelly, and I doubt we mentioned him because he was uncredited, but he was in War of the Worlds, which we covered in episode 130.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Lorna Thayer was Carol Kelly, and she was in Frankie and Johnny.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen her before, and I've probably seen her in other, 50s movies.
Sure.
She was the one face I was like, that and Dick Sargent or Dick York?
It's Dick Sargent. We'll get to him in a second. Donna Cole was Sandra Kelly, and she had a couple other like uncredited screenplays. So technically, this is her only credited movie. But she was in something else called The Long Gray Line. Dick Sargent, he would go on to do a ton of television. He plays Deputy Larry Brewster. He's pretty young in this movie. And you know him best as the father from Bewitched.
Yes.
Yeah. Leonard Torver was him, or AKA Carl. Most of them just called him, except for Alan. Actually, Alan had a history with Carl back in the war.
Which I found really compelling because it's sort of, he's keeping the secret from his family. They're like, I don't know why this guy's here. Why is he still here? And he never offers up an explanation. He's harmless, blah, blah, blah. And it comes off as he's dismissing any concerns his family could have, but it would be nice to have it kind of hinted at a little bit earlier that he knows this man, and that's the whole point of why he doesn't believe he's a bad person.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea that he owes this guy and the guy's a bad person. But let's pocket that for a second. Bruce Whitmore is the voice of the Beast. Yeah, there is some voice work from the Beast. It's all interior of your mind. It speaks through your mind. Yeah. Psychic tin can. Psychic tea kettles. Chester Conklin is Ben Weber.
That sounds like a Doctor Who episode. Psychic tea kettles.
Psychic tea kettles. Well, I'm wondering if Chester Conklin's a relative of yours.
Ooh, maybe.
He plays Ben Weber. He was the old guy that
Who knows?
Got trampled by the cow/bull.
Yeah.
Well, I can see why. I don't think it was controlled. It was just pissed off you were trying to milk it. Mm-hmm. He was actually in lots of stuff way back to Modern Times, which was one of the best silent sci-fi films ever. It's a gorgeous movie. I highly recommend it. And the original Brewster's Millions.
Oh, nice. That's something I want to do. I want to put that on the list.
Yeah, but there's a few of them, so it's one of those ones I've been wanting to do, but I keep skipping by because I'm like, there's more than two.
One of these days,
more
if we
than
have
three.
Time.
Yeah, if we have time. Yeah. But there's one more credit. London, the dog, the German Shepherd. Mm-hmm. He is Duke the dog in the film. He is most noted for, especially us Canadians, he played the original Littlest Hobo.
Oh my God, yay.
So, dog credit.
Yeah, I cast the dog, actually. Did you reel about it?
Oh, I didn't, but because I don't know the names of dog actors, but I'm sure it's something in your neighborhood, right?
Oh, yeah. Whenever I'm casting animals, they're animals I know.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so my idea here for The Beast of a Million Eyes, I even bounced this off my dad to see if he kind of liked this idea. Nice. So the Beast of a Million Eyes, in my mind, is a metaphor. We can still do what this creature does, but I kind of want it to attach it to the world we live in today with technology, lots of CCTV, lots of dash cams, camera phones, like we're constantly being watched. And I kind of want that to be part of the Beast with the Million Eyes. Like this part of why Alan has moved his family into the country to farm was a disconnect. He's uncomfortable in this modern world. Whereas his wife is very comfortable with the modern world. And she misses it and wants to be a part of it.
I love that. And I mean, there's data harvesting. There's all this stuff, people trying to live forever by uploading everything they've ever posted, which would be an inaccurate portrayal of who they are. Yeah.
And there's this free, dissemination of information, whether it's actually accurate or not is a different matter. But it can easily be for an alien entity to come in and just suck up all this information.
Yes.
And know everything. So these little isolated places would be at an advantage because they'd probably be the last to be taken over.
Yes.
So that was kind of my overarching concept. I wanted the name to mean something more than it does now and have some underlying story within the family as well. And that's still going to be your driving factor here.
Ooh, I have an idea. That has really sparked something in me. Because there was something that came up in this movie that I was looking forward to doing in ours, which they actually did. They do mention that humans, we're really quick to the whole hate button. We're really on it. We like to do it. That's why it's useful. But it could be, where the mother is presenting this. She still has some social media stuff because she won't give that up. But she presents it as like, I'm living this amazing life on this farm. Like her online persona is so far removed from who she is. And it's sort of thematically, we're talking about the disconnect, like to who people truly are and having them try and find that connection again.
Yeah, I like the
Alan and the daughter do that, but the mother hasn't.
Yeah, I like the idea of it being a very beautiful farm. Also, I want to have like maybe a rooftop deck because it's the only place you can get a signal.
Yes. Absolutely. And then once the thing crashes, the mother loses her shit because there's no Wi-Fi anymore.
Well, oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. Maybe their Wi-Fi comes through satellite or something too.
Yeah.
So if there's some sort of interference, yeah, like her only connection to the world she knows and her friends in the big city goes down. And yeah, she's now doesn't know what to do with herself and getting squirrely.
Yeah, she's forced to reckon with, her real life persona, because that's the whole thing. Sometimes people spend so much time on social media, they forget who they really are or would be in any 3D situation.
Yeah. Like this film, it does kind of fail with the animal attacks because they're just badly shot. But they're showing like the dog barking at her, kinda. And then she gets
sort of.
Yeah, and then she'll freak out and take an axe to it.
Yeah, it's so funny because Duke, every time I watched him, he's kind of quote unquote coming after her. He just looks like a dog who's like, "Hello, I'm doing my trick. I'm coming over."
Yeah, do you got my treats?
Because he's wagging his tail the whole time.
Yeah, he looks pretty happy. And they were at least clever enough to have them go into a shed area, and you're not sure who wins out until Ellen and Sandy come back.
Yeah,
they find her there, and they're like, "Hey, where's the dog? Where's Duke?"
Yeah.
And until then, we didn't know who won that.
And to be fair, I'm all for a movie where we don't have to see an animal corpse. We can just imagine it, and we don't have to feel sad.
Yeah, they could have sold it a little bit better that maybe Carol had a wound or something, like bandages wrapped around an arm or something.
Yeah, she just has apparently a black eye, which was really hard to see.
Yeah, in black and white.
Black and white.
Yeah, I didn't notice it at all.
I couldn't see it.
No. It's almost like they were just saying it was there and makeup wasn't there to do it.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah. But yeah, they're all the kind of scenes that play out that way, and they only really had one bird shot.
Yeah,
it's almost as bad as Birdemic.
But they did a lot with the chickens. I was actually, when she goes into the chicken coop and the chickens start attacking, I was genuinely, I could feel the fear of that one. I'm like, that's actually, they did that part well.
Okay.
Yeah.
As somebody who grew up on a farm, you would know.
Yeah, I'm scared of chickens. It's they're a little creepy. My cousins had chickens. I'm a little better, but I used to stay at a friend's house, and she's like, "We're going to go gather eggs, but you have to reach under the chicken." And I was always so terrified because they would always peck me.
Right.
They're mean.
Well, yeah, you're stealing their babies.
Yeah, true.
To eat them. Yeah, I'd be upset too.
I guess so.
So, yeah, I like the idea that she's from the big city, and that would cause conflict within the family. We can have that drama with some of those kind of arguments. Yeah. And the movie has a slow build as tensions grow and grow and grow. And I think that's okay because you want to learn the family dynamic first. Now, I've aged down the daughter. I don't know what you would do, but I just wanted a kid to be a kid instead of having this crush that went nowhere anyway with the deputy, which didn't make a lot of sense because when they tried to call the police for something else, laughed it off and didn't come. So why would the deputy come?
I know. And
if the deputy was dating the daughter, then why didn't you just start with him in the first place? So, script issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my version, I made the deputy the sheriff because it made more sense to me because I was also aging the daughter down. Now, if you got different ideas, that's fine. We got our own versions of casting, so.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I think either version will work with the person that I made. Like, she's not super old.
Mm-hmm.
She's youngish. So, I mean, yeah, the crush is there, but I mean, she doesn't have to be young. But I mean, I had her sort of burgeoning where she's going to go out into the world, and the mother is kind of jealous of that because she's like, you're going out. It's stated in the film.
Yeah.
You're going out and I'm stuck here.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to bring that to the ranch hands. Like, I still like the idea of him being a war buddy that Alan feels responsible for, but I want the guy to be taking advantage of them. I do kind of want him to be a heel character.
Oh, see, I went the complete 180 different direction because I was sort of thinking part of what this control deals with is it goes to your natural vicious impulses, and that's what it holds on to. And if he doesn't have that, like if he was an innocent, that would be more interesting. But I don't know, whatever you think.
Either or. I mean, that I do like that idea, but it kind of starts becoming the crazies, right?
Yeah, it does. I was about to say, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I think it can only control so far, like the more logical you are. I think if the guy's already got impulse control issues, if he drinks and he's a little bit lecherous, maybe he's hitting on the wife when Alan's not around and she's not saying anything. Who knows? Maybe she's into it. Maybe she rebuffs the advances.
Oh, you never know. Maybe she is.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
That's the human drama parts, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we could completely recast him as somebody who's not mute. He's just a ranch hand who lives there.
Yeah. I mean, characters just kind of fall over in this movie. Like, the ranch hand, spoiler, dies, but he just kind of falls over. He's being controlled and he's bringing the daughter to the tea kettle, space kettle. But
while he's fighting the beast, he brings the daughter back to the father, and that's when he dies. So, like, I just took that as
he just wore out.
The beast killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the beast came out of the tea kettle, or an aspect, maybe it was another creature being controlled that came into the shuttle thing. It falls over and dies, and apparently the creature at the end took its mind, hopped into a rat, and then out of nowhere, a bald eagle comes and takes it and eats it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I guess it was, it hopped into a rat because it had nowhere else to go because it wasn't going into the humans. They weren't taking it. And then just very unluckily, you went into prey, not predator.
Yeah, which I don't know why it didn't immediately jump into the bald eagle, but whatever.
I'm wondering if it can only jump into something when it's next to its own technology.
Maybe. Oh, maybe. Maybe it was trying to find a human host.
Yeah.
But if you could why would you need a human host if you could control everything already?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it was trying to... Well, I mean, you can make it very prescient in that if you control humans, we'll freaking destroy ourselves. We're pretty good at that.
Yeah. Well, I could have maybe just got tired of waiting for us to do it.
I think so. I think that was probably it. That should be part of the movie. Where it's like, okay, you guys keep getting so close. You know that clock you say where it's this many minutes to midnight?
Yeah. I just need to push you over.
Twirling the drains for years. Come on. Let's make some choices.
That's right. But I don't know. I kind of want to put it in a world where like things have already happened. And maybe those hints we're getting that before the technology goes into the crapper when this thing lands in the outskirts. Like there's plenty of these have already landed and have taken out the big cities. So now it's working on the outskirts, these smaller towns and killing the technology that way. So we can get hints on her phone or she's seeing some video on YouTube or whatever before she loses her reception and
or just give her a phone where it's like installing updates installing updates
so no signal installing
updates
yeah
because nobody would notice.
That's madness.
Yep.
Still installing. Why won't you install?
It says 100%. Why would it lie?
It's been 100% for an hour.
Yes.
It's not like I didn't have that issue earlier.
I know. That's what brought that to me. I'm like, you know what? We've lived this, Jason. We've just lived it.
We've just lived it. Yeah. So, like I said, I kind of wanted to have this ranch hand. I don't know how far I kind of want to go with that. And if Bored Wife is either cheating or just being mean to the ranch hand or knows what he's doing.
Or a bit of both.
Yeah. Not sure where I want to go with that one just yet. But.
Well, I mean, are we giving him a redemption arc?
The ranch hand?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. That was my question.
I want a body count. In fact, I kind of want Carol to bite it too.
Because the mother had this is the weird thing. Out of this whole movie, I was actually really moved by the mother's redemption arc, where she's finally becoming more present with her family. And it's only like through this terrible thing that's happening. She's like, I finally realized I just want to be with you guys. I want to be around you. I need you.
Mm-hmm. Like, I like the idea of her accepting what's the situation she's in, because it's what kept them alive other than the people in the cities. But I also like the idea of that redemption arc still having a bad end. Like, she redeems herself, but through sacrifice as well to save her daughter.
In this movie, the Beast is asking for both of them in exchange for the daughter. She could be like, you could have me.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I'm kind of wondering what the Beast needed it for. Like, what do they need the people for?
Well, I mean, you control the people. Like, once, I guess it would kind of be, once the populace is controlled, then they can all land and just do whatever they want, I guess?
I suppose. It seems like, well, why bother bargaining for one when you're just going to take them all anyway? So... I mean, you won't need them all. You can, like, they probably only need about 10% of the population, the slave population, right?
She was a wealthy socialite who married this farmer, and her family disowned her. And she has connections to elite people.
Yeah, that still doesn't, like, come up with a reason for, like, that would be meaningless to an alien, right?
Yeah. Well, no, we've talked about how it's harvested all this data. And it says, like, the people with the most money are the ones who are making all the rules.
Sure, but if they're just trying to populate the Earth with their own technology and their own aliens, then none of that means anything in the long run. So, yeah, her status doesn't change the story one little bit.
No, I know. I'm just trying to think of a good end game. That's the whole thing, like you're saying.
Yeah, I think in the end there should be some sort of creature. But, I mean, I do like the idea of, like, they don't have to leave their little pods or whatever to control society, control the animals. That's kind of how they do their initial cull, right? They're culling the humans that they can't control with the creatures that they can.
Ooh, okay.
Now, what if we added a little layer where they could mutate creatures into something a little more formidable? Mutate them, merge them.
Mutate them, merge them. I mean...
Like a bear bull?
Bear bull. Oh, that would be good. A bear bull. Bull bear.
Yeah. Bear with big horns and hooves and udders that don't want to be milked.
Actually, a bear bison would be amazing.
Oh, a bear bison.
Bear bison could kick a lot of ass.
Yeah. So... there could be some experimentations going on, and it would have to happen later in the film, because it probably wouldn't happen instantaneously, right?
Mm-hmm. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. I mean, I think what part of that would have to entail is the Beast actually kind of getting control of somebody somewhere at a lab. And I mean, you could have it where it is like a top secret lab in the middle of nowhere.
Maybe. I don't know. Those are thoughts. I'm not married to them.
No, I know. I'm not married either.
We're both trying to come up with a big finish.
I know, right? This is the whole heart. Like, I mean, the core concept of this movie is really quite brilliant, and I love it.
Yeah. I feel like the halfway point should be dealing with the ranch hands. Like, that's the halfway point. And they realize we got to get the hell out of here. Our neighbors are dead. This guy went nuts. We had to put down the dog. We had to put down the animals, and it's just getting more and more dangerous. They're not really realizing, and they need to go get help. And maybe that's when the sheriff kind of comes in, and the sheriff's like, okay, we need to figure out what's going on, and I have no communications. Let's go into the nearest city. Like, that's where things can ramp up.
Yeah, because I mean, he could have lost
things are
all
already
communications.
Yeah, and the cities are already in chaos, but they don't know that.
But and you could also have too, where he is close with this family. The daughter may have a crush on him, but that's also why he goes out to check on them. He's like, I've been running around all day. People are dead. They've been killed by their animals. I don't know what's going on, but we got to go somewhere.
Well, and the thing is, it'd be less animals in the city. I wonder if these creatures would also control through devices because they've hacked into those systems.
Oh, yeah.
And they can get that signal out and that signal boosted through our devices. That already
through the
emanates
devices,
signals.
through the phone?
Yeah. So
I already have a side scene I want of a very wealthy old lady getting mauled to death by her tiny dog.
There you go. Yeah, this should be very tongue-in-cheek and have some just humorous black kind of humor deaths. I think that would be a lot of fun.
A dog walker just being carried, the corpse of a dog walker being carried on by a bunch of dogs running.
Yeah. But, I also like the idea of maybe humans also being controlled at this point too through their devices, right? And maybe that's how we get Carol. She's still got her phone with her. She's trying to get a signal out, and then she's slowly getting controlled through her own device, not realizing that this was the way it is, whereas everybody else didn't carry anything like that, right? Like Alan swore off technology a while ago, and daughter grew up without it.
Yeah. Daughter didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah. And I think there should be that
farm,
message
She
there.
liked the land.
Yeah. And maybe that's how we can kind of turn Carol a little bit and see her struggle between her family and attacking them. So, that would be fun. Yeah, I like that. We have characters we kind of glom onto, and then suddenly they change. It's very Evil Dead in a way in that regard, where you're suddenly fighting a loved one, and you can have them kind of turn back at the last second to do this, like save yourself, sacrifice themselves to let their family live, right? And fighting the control of this evil alien. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Things are happening.
What's funny is like with social media, this works so well because it could be the beast is like, oh, just, her likes aren't going up the way she wants. Do things for more likes.
Yeah. She's probably not going to be super concerned about that by the time they get to the city. But, no, early on in the films, her technology addiction should be realized. We should see that. That's why I kind of want to have an upper deck on their farmhouse or something where she literally climbs on railings to get a signal so she can do a selfie with her duck face.
Yeah. And she spends most of her time up there.
That makes my casting really good now.
Nice. That works. I love it.
Yeah. Somebody addicted to Instagram and TikToks and I like that.
And any adulation from strangers, not looking inward or around to her family.
Yeah. And maybe that could be our kind of climax is them going into the city. That's when things get really scary for them, right? So we're seeing wild things like you've described already, and we can build towards they're running from people, running from animals, hiding in buildings, hiding whatever, and they're realizing, okay, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
We were better off where we were. But that ups the jeopardy, right? And gives us some more action sequences and less jibber jabber.
Ooh, and possibly meeting like other survivors in the city. You're like, you came from the country? What were you thinking? It's better out there. Come on.
Yeah, hi. We didn't get the news. Nobody's sent a memo. Like, where were your carrier pigeons?
Exactly.
You couldn't have sent a kid on a bike to come and warn us?
The kid can only go so far, man.
That's right. Maybe that's part of why these creatures do the chaos is they attack the big cities first, the higher populations, keep them contained. Yeah. It's a little easier to keep them contained in the city and then work outwards, right?
Yeah.
And then we could have more of these aliens too, more signals, more aliens. And during the way, maybe they can learn how to defeat some of these things that the signals or muffle them, or if there's multiple aliens, they got to figure out. It would be funny to see everybody running around with like tinfoil on their heads trying to keep from being controlled.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had an idea, but it's too much like that one movie about the aliens that have sound, but
Oh,
'Cause, I
yeah.
mean, the whole thing where,
Yeah.
it would be too much like that, but it'd be like, there's got to be some way to avoid the signals.
Yeah, I'm kind of, and I'm also pulling away from the animal mutation thing because it felt too much like Annihilation to me. And now that we've kind of got them into the city with it feels like it's unnecessary now. So
Yeah.
even if it is a cool thought, but
They've already sowed the chaos.
yeah, the chaos is there. The chaos is human. The chaos is animals. The chaos is amongst themselves as well.
Yeah. Just a ton of terror all around.
I mean, in the end, it's a survival movie, and it's basically a fight to live. You're not going to defeat this. Like, the war's lost already. Now you're just surviving in a world.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about a fight to live. It's a fight to also remain yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because that seems to be, I don't know, that seems terrifying. Is where you're like, are these my own thoughts?
Right. Yeah. And we can see them struggle with that, too. Those issues that they had back at the ranch house. Maybe she was cheating, maybe she wasn't. The issues between her wanting to be in the city and not, and this all kind of proven him right. Although Alan was also betrayed by somebody who thought he was a friend who was taking advantage, and he just didn't. Mm-hmm. He was too guilty to say anything about it.
Yeah, he was too innocent, too doe-eyed.
Yeah. Okay.
Well. I have a wild thing to bring into this. It would be really. To me, it would be entertaining. I don't know. It sounds bad that I find this entertaining, but I would really enjoy if anybody with schizophrenia is like, oh no, I knew that was an outside voice. My inside voices sound a lot different.
Yeah, that could be somebody
remarkably immune.
Yeah. Oh, like, oh no, I hear it. I just know it's not one of mine.
Yeah. And they're like, I don't know. I'm just immune. I'm like, I know that's not the ones I'm listening to. That's a new one. We told that guy to get out.
Yeah. No, you're not part of our crowd.
Right? Like it becomes such a boon. They're like going, you know what? I used to be sad about this, but you know what? This is working out pretty good for me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want that to be a regular character, but that could sure be fun.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be somebody they meet in the city. For sure.
You know how I know it's not mine? Because it doesn't sound like me.
Doesn't sound like me. It's not like any of the ones I listen to.
Yeah.
This one's just new and it showed up.
Yeah. The other's always been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that could be all right. That could be fun. Okay, so they're in the city. They realize it's a bad idea, fighting their way out. Maybe we'll lose Carol here along the way. So now it's our sheriff and Alan and the daughter. Mm-hmm. Maybe we lose the sheriff on the way. Maybe we don't. Find a secluded area, and that's all they can do is kind of live without technology and destroy whatever of these vessels, because there's not going to be as many of them on the outskirts, so it's probably easier to defeat the one back at home and live at home rather than go try to find safety in the city, because it's gone, it's toast, it's not going to happen. And shoring up your security. Yeah, the world is going to be lost, but you could still maybe live a life on the outskirts.
Yes. And anybody who new comes along, they're really they're struggling with their humanity and being like, well, are they one of us or are they one of them?
Yeah. No, I think it's still like a complex mind should be tougher to control, but that was why the devices were there. It takes out the bulk of humanity. So what little is left are the ones who probably weren't glued to technology in the first place or smart enough to get rid of it.
Yes. Yeah. They were noticing the differences and being like, no, this isn't how it's supposed to work.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why the alien spider face was on my phone, but that's a glitch.
That's a glitch. That's not my glitch. We can have some of these
I don't want that on my iPhone 15.
Yeah, I did not code this. I had nothing to do with this coding. No.
That is not my app. Okay, well, yeah, it's a little bit of a dour ending, but I kind of like dour endings, and I kind of want it a bit goofy and silly. I do want to see some of those scenes you mentioned, like, little ankle biters eating an old lady or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
The dog walker being dragged by the dog and stuff like that. That could be fun kind of stuff, that Mars Attacks really crazy visual stuff. Just taking normal things and then twisting them in a dark way.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's a source of levity, but you feel bad about laughing.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I'm looking for.
Yeah, yeah.
Where have you been, honey?
Just walking. I found him out in the desert.
What were you doing out there?
Dad, I'm not sure. I was sitting and thinking, and then suddenly there I was. As if I'd been walking in my sleep. Except for one thing, that humming noise. Oh, Dad, I know I didn't dream that.
Humming noise?
Yes, I remember it starting, and then I blacked out.
Honey, the sounds, humming noise. Did it sound like the plane this morning?
Well, I never thought about it. Yes, only not so loud, Dad.
And you ran into him and you snapped out of it.
How did you know?
Something Carol said. The two of you together.
I'm awfully sorry about what happened this morning, Dad.
Never mind, honey. You save that for your mother.
Cool. Well, I think we're ready to cast this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it wound up working pretty good with my cast, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I think mine might be okay.
All right, well, let's hear yours.
Okay, so for Alan Kelly, I actually had Trevor Noah.
Okay, from
He's kind
Daily
of
Show.
Thoughtful. Yeah, he's kind of thoughtful, sort of youngish. And then I had for Carol Kelly, Angelica Ross. She's been on American Horror Story a couple times. She's an incredible actress, very beautiful. So that totally works into the I'm an Instagram mom type of deal.
Okay.
Sandra Kelly, Amanda Steinberg. She was in Hunger Games. She was Rue in Hunger Games. But now she's kind of a little older. She's like 20-ish. For him / Carl, Christian Nairn. Basically because he did Hodor in Game of Thrones.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. And then I changed the gender because I'm like, I just know that this is now her milieu where she does great performances. Deputy Lacey Brewster, Katie Holmes.
Okay.
So she's sort of coming into that.
Sure.
The Beast voiced, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't do a Beast voice. I'll go with that.
And then Duke the dog, Sammy, my fur niece.
Okay. Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm thinking on that one. I'm going to switch mine to Idris Elba for the Beast.
There you go.
For voice of the
Both
Beast.
will work.
Yeah, both will work. Okay.
They have to be British. I don't know why.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why either. I know I used them recently, but I feel like these kind of goofy films are right up like Kurt Russell's alley. So I'm going to give them now to his son, Wyatt.
Nice.
So yeah, I made the family, the older part of the family, like in their mid-30s. So Wyatt Russell would be Alan, and he's he can do kindly or mean. So maybe we can have him struggle with that as well. You've seen him on Apple TV's Monarch most recently, and he was on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be in Thunderbolts as well. So for Carol, because you were talking Instagram model and kissy faces, Megan Fox.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Absolutely.
Totally plays into that. For the daughter, Sandy, I think she's around 15 now. Brooklyn Prince. She was in Cocaine Bear, but you might remember her as the little girl in the Florida Project.
Oh, lovely. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
For him / Carl, I went with Jonathan Rhys Meyers, who was in Vikings, Elvis, The Tudors. He's a weird-looking dude.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to remember the one movie that I've seen him in so many times. It'll come to me in a bit.
Yeah. For Ben Weber, the old guy on the outskirts there that was trying to milk a bull, Ken Hudson Campbell. I wanted somebody who was like a kindly old man. He was in Groundhog's Day, Home Alone, Armageddon, still working today. And for Sheriff Brewster, I went with Sam Rockwell.
You know what? I thought of him as the kindly neighbor, and here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to cast Sam Rockwell, but then just put him in old man makeup. Because I just thought that would be so funny.
There is that. I wanted somebody who could do heroic, but still friendly. So, yeah, that's what I went. I didn't cast the dog. Some dog can it be in this movie?
It's just one of those things. I'm like, I only do the dog when I'm like, a dog or cat when I'm like, I know the right dog or cat.
Yeah, my iPad didn't show it, but I wound up it's weird that IMDb does different things on different devices. So when I looked it up on my phone, I'm like, oh, they have the dog. So, yeah, that was kind of nice.
Oh, Velvet Goldmine. That's the one I keep thinking of.
Right.
With Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, Velvet Goldmine.
Yeah. This movie, part of how they saved the budget, too, is the music. Mm-hmm. It was all public domain music. Despite them actually giving credit to music, somebody got credit. Didn't have to do any work. They basically just had to go comb the public domain archives and find music cues. But somebody got actual credit, but it's actually public domain music. So there's $0 spent on music.
Yeah, because that can add up very quickly.
Sure can. Well, I mean, when you only got $29,000 to spend, right?
Yeah, but we're pretending as if we have much money.
Yes. Much better settings.
Much money.
That's
I would
right.
do like Lady Gaga and Kesha for the mother.
Oh, there you go.
That's her background music.
IMDb gives this a 3.7 out of 10. There aren't enough Rotten Tomatoes reviews for this, so no review score. Lucky you. But there is enough for an audience score.
Ah, damn.
So you still have to guess one of them.
Oh, okay. So Rotten Tomatoes, 42%.
Very generous of you. 10%.
Well, I don't know.
10% audience score.
Look, here's the deal. I know all of this was badly done, but even while watching it, I'm looking at people are trying, and I will give them a lot of kudos for just trying.
Yeah, like for a lot of people, this ended their careers in this movie, or it was their only gig. There's a couple people who had nice long careers, like Dick Sargent managed to shake this off, but he was just a kid taking on a job, right? So his career really didn't get kicking off until the later 50s and early 60s. So
yeah, it's like what's his face in The Blob, Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Steve McQueen. Yeah, he really got going in the late 60s.
Yeah, but yeah, like he started off in The Blob.
Yep.
So there we go.
Yep, playing a teenager that looked like he was 40.
Yeah, I know. Jennifer Aniston was in Leprechaun.
That's right.
I mean, let's be real.
Pre-nose job.
This is a great, great place. Horror is a great, great place for people to start their careers, or in some instances, restart their careers.
Right. And maybe this could just be like one of these fun, tongue-in-cheek, like, let's do something insane type of movies. And those kind of movies seem to be doing well right now. Like, at least in action, like Bullet Train is balls to the walls insanity. And I love that these kind of insane movies can do decent box office.
I was thinking, I didn't do my director.
Oh, I forgot to name him too. Yeah,
if we were doing, I have two options because I didn't know if we're doing serious or tongue-in-cheek. So serious, M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay.
Because he did The Happening. I feel he could attack this and be like, I'm not doing what I did in The Happening. Or Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele knows comedy and he knows horror.
Yeah,
that's all we need to know.
That last sci-fi thing he did, it was so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm here for his stuff because I really like to see what he's coming up with next. And I think he could really make a really great spin on this.
Well, I went with Marco Brambilla. This is a weird one because he's primarily done short films, but he directed the insane but wonderful Demolition Man.
Ooh.
And he's still making shorts. So I like the idea of him coming back and doing something fucking weird like this.
And you know what? I'm just going to say it. Sometimes I like a director who is capable of doing a short. A short requires a very concise use of time, which some directors do not have. And I appreciate that. So if we got this guy, he can make it a tight movie.
Yeah, exactly. They know how to work with a budget, small budgets, and economy of time. So I'd like to see what he could do now. I mean, yes, Demolition Man was a big budget movie that did bomb in the box office, but ultimately was a really fun movie.
Oh, Demolition Man has freaking lived on. It wasn't appreciated at the time, but good God, looking at it now, it's a freaking insanely good movie.
Yeah, no,
it's dumb as hell, but it's great.
Exactly. It's super fun. Super fun.
Mm-hmm.
Which I hope The Beast with a Billion Eyes will be too, if they ever make this movie.
Well,
and then why would they?
And if he's done Demolition Man and he's dealt with those actors, he could do magic with actors who will listen. So
Yeah.
I feel this is a really good idea.
Yeah. This was a fun one to do because I really wanted to do something to honor Roger Corman, but I didn't want to do one of those like we've done in the past with these director focuses, because there's so much in his filmography and in the history of the companies he's been at. And we've done a ton of them already. And Corman and his companies and his productions are constantly going to be fodder for us.
Yeah.
So,
if we ever did it, it would have to be a Patreon 6-part miniseries. That's the only way I see us actually achieving it.
Yeah, every episode being 3 hours long.
Pretty much.
And I mean, he was still going at 98 years old, you know, like what a career. What
FYI, are you listening, Shudder? We will do this.
They might be already on it. Who knows? Got to check my inbox.
Hey, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Right? Wow, we're asking our audience to follow us on our social media at Invasion Remake on Twitter /X, Invasion of the Remake on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and other places. I'm forgetting
many
somewhere.
places.
I'm forgetting.
If you're
something.
hiding, if you can't find us, you're hiding from us, like the beast with a million eyes.
That's right. That's right. You literally have to be on that homestead avoiding technology. We're easy to find. You can always email us your suggestions, your corrections, and your comments, and of course your fan challenges to invasionoftheremake@gmail.com. And if you do want to make a fan challenge, I mean, you can always make a comparison request. That's fine too. And something maybe that's slipped under our radar and we might be excited to do. But you can also throw an idea for a remake. We like doing weird stuff. So if you got an idea, it's got to be at least 20 years old. That's kind of my cutoff. So I'm being generous because now there's things that are getting into the 2000s that might be
right?
workable.
2000 just happened.
I know. It does feel that way. Give us a good case of why you think it would be a good movie to remake. I mean, don't give us an Oscar winner because we're not going to make it better. We can definitely make it worse, though.
Oh, hell yeah. We have done that.
we have done that. But, you know, throw us a bone there and try to source it for us. So if you have a request, you want us to do it, you better be able to tell us where to find it. If it's on some sort of streaming network or YouTube or whatever, let us know. If you got a link, send it to us as well. That'll help, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But if it's on Netflix or Amazon or one of those streamers, that'll help. Hopefully it's one of the ones we subscribe to.
and I'm going to give everybody a little tip. So Jay isn't listening. If you have a weird movie with a weird hook, he freaking loves that. Okay. You can listen again, Jay.
Okay. What was that? What was that?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right. Another way you can help out the show is give us a 5-star rating and a short review over on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. It helps get more
earballs
on the show. Also, visit our website, invasionoftheremake.wixsite.com/podcast. And over there, you'll find a list of our archives. You'll find links to podcatchers, of course. You'll see a list of our 31 Days of Horror specials. So you can go check out those movies if you want that we've reviewed in those. And of course, there's a big old button that'll take you to our TeePublic Store where you can buy t-shirts, mugs, posters, pillows, magnet stickers, totes, all sorts of cool stuff. We've got like well over 100 designs to choose from, so I'm sure you'll be able to find something you're going to dig. A lot of them are based on the episodes we have done, and if you support us, we'll throw some more designs at you periodically as well. Because there's never a shortage of ideas for sure, and shortage of movies that we've covered.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
So, yeah, do us a favor. Get yourself some cool merch. It's the summer, so get yourself a t-shirt. I think they got tie-dyes in there. I have yet to buy one myself, but I love the t-shirts. Nice, soft, and comfortable. And
oh, so nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
I might get a light hoodie for those cooler days. Yeah. So
yeah, for like those late evenings, you're hanging out with your friends. You're like, ooh, I've got to chill. And so you put on your Invasion of the Remake hoodie and they're like, hey, where'd you get that? And then you say, oh, well, I got it on TeePublic. But you know what? If you go to the site and click on the store, yeah. So, yeah.
And hey, there's different cuts of shirts too. Like it's not, you can get a standard t-shirt, but there's fitted shirts for the ladies and actually fitted shirts for the men as well. Different styles, different colors. You can put the images on different colors. You have a lot of control over the shirts you're getting. So go check it out. Worth your time. And it throws us a couple of bucks and keeps us free for you every couple of weeks. So thank you very much for doing that. And yeah, we'll catch you in another couple of weeks. I think I want to do another Corman, just to do a good send off. I had another one I wanted to do as a remake, but I've turned out there was a remake already. So
that's the hard part with Corman's.
That's right. So I think we'll do that one in 2 weeks. But
nice.
Yeah, and maybe I'll tell you right now. Go check it out. You should be able to find both of them on YouTube. The Wasp Woman.
Yes.
So check it out. We're going to come back in 2 weeks with The Wasp Woman. All right. Until then, I've been Jason.
And I continue to be Trish.
And we are out of here.
I told you to stay home, Carol.
Well, I was so worried you were away so long. I just went to the edge of the grove, and the birds, they came back. The door was open, and they flew into the house. It was horrible.
We'd better wait here. Larry, you still want to go through with that?
Of course. The birds will be out of the house by now anyway.
You get back as fast as you can.
I hope you're right about Sandy.
I hope so too, Larry. Sandy, listen to me. Snap out of it. Snap out of it, baby.
Dad.
Listen, do you remember anything?
He was climbing and lights. And then you called it. That's all.
That thing in the crater. It controls minds, but its power is limited. It controlled him until it killed him. Now it's had you under its control. But we've got you now. And he can't keep you if you fight it, if we all fight it together. That's the thing to remember. We're together. Together, we can defeat it. Understand me, baby. Remember that. If we fight it together, we'll win.
Yes, Dad.